When visiting Thailand, you'll probably first fly into Bangkok. Now, regardless of whether you decide to stay for 2 days or 2 weeks in this dizzying and exasperating metropolis before heading off on your travels, it is the perfect place for exploring. Currently hosting a population of almost 11 million, Bangkok is also the world's hottest city, and the colorful chaos surrounding you is complemented by the best street food in Asia, plenty of peculiar Buddhist culture, and some of the kindest people on earth. Nonetheless, like many other big cities, the Thai capital is also riddled with scams and problems. But worry not, knowing these insider tips beforehand will help you tremendously and enable you to make the most out of your stay. 10. Always carry a map. The inconsistent street names, the flowing river, the unknown destinations on the motorways, and the absence of distinct neighborhoods can make it quite difficult to navigate Bangkok. The fix? Carry a good map that includes Thai and English street names. Google Maps is also great, but you will frequently need to manually translate addresses that are written in Thai characters. 9. The local food is the best. One of the most intriguing aspects of Bangkok is its street food culture. So if you see a line of people in front of a street food booth, join them and prepare for an explosion of flavor. You may not know what you're eating, but it will most likely be excellent and, at the absolute least, an adventure for your tastes. 8. Be taxi savvy. Being overcharged for a taxi is perhaps the simplest way to lose money in Bangkok. Several taxis purposely ride without meters in order to dupe visitors into paying more money. But even if you get lucky enough to escape this fraud, the driver may start with excessively high meters. Taxis in Bangkok are required to use a meter that starts at 35 THB, which is $1 in today's translation rate, and riding without a meter is actually against the law. If you're out late at night or in a touristy area of town, you're more likely to get into problems. But don't be afraid. Only get into a taxi once they have set their meter to 35 THB and confirm that they will take you where you need to go. But what if you're having trouble finding a taxi that will utilize its meter? In that case, downloading the Grab Taxi app is beneficial. This cab service app is widely used throughout Thailand and functions similarly to Uber, except it is far less expensive. 7. Always barter. The first and only rule of shopping in Bangkok is that if you're not in a shop with price tags and barcodes, you should be bartering. You'll know you're getting good if you can whittle away until the price is almost half what was originally asked for. But while haggling is the norm, remember that Thai people are known for being softly spoken, and having an aggressive attitude won't get you very far. Just start out with what's the best price you can offer and go from there. If you're not happy with even the bartered price, walk away and you'll probably be called right back. This time, the shopkeeper will offer an even better price. And if you're still not happy, just leave whatever you are thinking of buying. The markets in Bangkok are huge, so you're bound to find an identical item at a better price sooner or later. 6. Pack your stuff carefully. The temperature in Bangkok is high, the humidity is high, and the mosquitoes bite. So be sure to pack appropriately. Focus on packing a lot of light-colored, lightweight clothing, as well as plenty of insect repellent, despite the fact that you will have no trouble finding the latter once you get to Bangkok. Unless you travel to the country during the cool season, which is from November to February, you should never overlook the tropical monsoon climate. There is always a possibility of getting wet by rain, so bring something waterproof. In addition, because you cannot wear shorts inside certain buildings, such as the Grand Palace, you are going to need to bring at least one pair of long trousers with you. When going to temples, it is important to cover your shoulders, so bring a sarong with you and carry it at all times. This is especially important for young women. 5. Be wary of pickpockets. When you're in a crowded area, such as a market or a space that attracts a lot of people, you need to be extra careful of your belongings, just as you would be in any other large city. Placing your backpack in front of you is a smart move. However, you should avoid putting anything important in the front pockets on the front of the pack. In Bangkok, it is common practice for motorcyclists to steal bags from pedestrians as they pass by on their bikes. So when you put your bag in front of you, it is also more difficult for another person to take it from you. And last but not least, if you don't need to carry a lot of things with you, you might want to think about purchasing a money belt or fanny pack that you can conceal under your clothing. But regardless of what you choose, be aware of your environment at all times, even when you're not in a particularly busy place, because criminal activity can take place anywhere. 4. Keep small bills on you. Always having some spare change on you is a good rule of thumb to follow whenever traveling. But in Bangkok, this is particularly useful, primarily for instances in which you have successfully negotiated the price of an item down to a point where you are satisfied with it, but the store informs you that they do not have sufficient change for a large bill. Now it is up to you to decide whether you want the item, whether you want to pay a higher price for it, or whether you want to go and get some change and come back, in which case you might not be able to find the place again. The same holds true for tuk-tuks and taxis. In addition to this, if you need to pay a small amount with a 1,000 THB bill, you will need to count your change carefully to ensure that you have the correct amount. So why not just carry small bills and save yourself the effort? 3. Bring your own toilet paper. It is not completely out of the ordinary to come across a few squatty potty toilets while traveling through Thailand. The problem, however, is that instead of actual toilet paper, many of these toilets have a water hose hung on the wall nearby. The water squirter is quite efficient. Nonetheless, a majority of travelers find it more convenient to use toilet paper. So if you are also of the same view, carry at least a small amount of toilet paper with you at all times. But if you forget it, small packs of tissues can always be purchased from a large number of street vendors located throughout Thailand. You can also buy them at the 7-Eleven stores that are located on practically every street corner. 2. Carry a copy of your passport. During the course of your time in Bangkok, you should always be prepared to show identification. So whether it's to get into a club or because the local law enforcement officer demands it, carrying an ID on you at all times will help. But rather than clinging to your passport and living in constant fear that you may misplace it, you should make a photocopy of it and take that with you instead. 1. Know your address in Thai. During your time in Bangkok, you will almost certainly take at least one ride in a cab, and even when you get the hang of negotiating the fare based on the meter, there is still a second, potentially more difficult obstacle for you to go over. There are a lot of individuals in Bangkok who don't know English, so using sign language to communicate something as important as the name of your hotel might be challenging. Ask the people who are hosting you at your accommodation or the concierge at your hotel to write the name and address of your home in Thai on a piece of paper that you may carry in your wallet. This will save you the hassle of being stranded and unable to get back home. Just present this paper to the driver of your cab, and any confusion that may have arisen due to language will vanish. Have you ever visited Bangkok? And if yes, what is your opinion of the metropolis? Tell us in the comments below. This brings us to the end of this video. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing and sharing so we can keep bringing more content like this. See you next time.